In this particular video, we will look into two conditions that are present in pteridophytes. The first condition is homosporous condition and the second condition is heterosporous condition. Homosporous condition is the condition in which all the spores which are produced, these are of similar type. So if all spores are alike, similar, then we will call it as homosporous. Now a different condition exists in which two kind of spores will be produced. The first will be microspores and the second will be macrospores. So since different types of spores are produced, this condition is called as heterosporous. Now, if we generally look into pteridophytes, then most pteridophytes have this homosporous condition. So same type of spores will be produced in most pteridophytes. But there will be some pteridophytes, example Selaginella and Salvinia. In these pteridophytes, the first type of spore will be microspore, which will be smaller in size, and the second will be macrospore, which will be larger in size. Now, talking of the differences between microspores and megaspore, so microspore will give rise to the male gametophyte, whereas megaspore will give rise to the female gametophyte. Now, a very important condition will be present in this heterosporous condition, and the condition is that the female gametophyte, this female gametophyte will be present on the present parent sporophyte for variable period. So that means this female gametophyte is not independent. It is dependent on what? It is dependent on this parent sporophyte. Now, once fertilization takes place, then development of zygote into young embryo, it will also take place within this female gametophyte, and female gametophyte is present on what? It is present on parent sporophytes. So we can say that this particular special event, it is precursor to the seed habit, and this is obviously a very important step in evolution. So in the case of heterospory, in this case, this seed habit is not coming. But in the case of heterospory, this seed habit is coming, and that is why we say that heterospory led to the seed habit in plants later on. After this, coming to the economic importance. So, there are few points about this economic importance. Pteridophytes are used for medicinal purposes. These are also used as soil binders. There are pteridophytes which are frequently grown as ornamental. So the plants which are grown in house, because these look like, so these are the economic importance of pteridophytes. After this, coming to the classes, there are four classes which are present in pteridophytes. The first is Psilopsida, the second is Lycopsida, the third class is Sphenopsida, and the fourth class is Pteropsida. Talking of the examples which come into these four classes, so in Psilopsida, Psilotum is a very famous example. In Lycopsida, Lycopodium and Selaginella is present. Pteridophytes can be classified into four classes. The four classes which are present are Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. Talking about the examples, Psilotum is a famous example of class Psilopsida. Talking about the next class, that is Lycopsida, there are two examples, well-known examples. First is Lycopodium and second is Selaginella. Talking about the third class, that is Sphenopsida, these are commonly called as horsetails and example is Equisetum. The last class is Pteropsida, and in this ferns come. Common examples of ferns are Dryopteris, Pteris, Adiantum, Salvia. We can look into some of the pteridophytes that are given here. The first is the Selaginella that we talked about here. The second is the fern, that is Pteropsida. The third is the Salvinia, this one. And fourth is the Equisetum, which were called as horsetails.